अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। आपका मेज़बान आरिफ जहांगीरी इलेक्शन स्पेशल टोरंटो 360 टीवी से नाज़रीन हाजिर है। नाज़रीन, आज के प्रोग्राम के अंदर हमने दावत दी है मिल्टन नॉर्थ हाल्टन हिल्स की जो हमारी कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी नई कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी है, उसकी जो लिबरल पार्टी से एमपी खड़ी हुई है क्रिस्टीना डाक्सन साहिबा को, उनको हमने दावत दी है टोरंटो 360 पे गुफ्तगू करने के लिए। ये जो क्रिस्टीना डाक्सन साहिबा है, ये काउंसलर का इलेक्शन काउंसलर रही है तकरीबन दो उन्होंने एरिया 4 साल 8 साल से जो है वो तकरीबन काउंसलर है उस इलाके के अंदर, मिल्टन के अंदर, और काफ़ी बाहिम्मत खातून है, काफ़ी काम करती हैं कम्युनिटी का, और इन्होंने बड़ा अहम रोल अदा किया है काउंसिल के अंदर। इसके अलावा ये था कि पिछले जो इलेक्शन हुआ था जिसमें ज़ीशान हामिद साहब भी खड़े हुए थे मिल्टन से, और ये लिबरल की सीट इनको मिली थी, और इन्होंने ज़ीशान हामिद साहब कंजर्वेटिव के थे, तो बहरहाल ये कुछ हज़ार वोटों से जो है वो हार गई थी ज़ीशान हामिद से। लेकिन इनके पास बड़ा टाइम कम था, लेकिन इसके बावजूद इन्होंने बहुत अच्छी रेस लड़ी थी और बहुत टफ टाइम दिया था ज़ीशान हामिद साहब को। लेकिन ज़ीशान हामिद साहब बहरहाल ये है कि कुछ हज़ार वोटों से जो है ना वो जीत गए थे। लेकिन इस दफ़ा फिर जो है लिबरल पार्टी ने तकरीबन कोई 2-3 हफ्ते का गैप के बाद जनाब ये इलेक्शन आ गया फेडरल का, तो इनको फिर मौका दिया है कि ये फेडरल की सीट से लड़ें। तो ये एक सीट जो मिल्टन की है, मिल्टन बर्लिंगटन की, उसके ऊपर एडम वैंकूवर साहब है और नदीम खटाना साहब है कंजर्वेटिव की तरफ से, वो लड़ाएं। और दूसरी सीट जो है मिल्टन की, जो एक और सीट है, वो है जनाब मिल्टन नॉर्थ और हाल्टन हिल्स की। ये सीट के ऊपर पैरम गिल साहब जो है वो कंजर्वेटिव के हैं, और लिबरल की जो है वो क्रिस्टीना डाक्सन साहिबा। तो उन्हीं से हम बात करेंगे और पूछेंगे जनाब कि क्या चल रहा है और कैसे उनसे कुछ हम टफ सवाल भी पूछेंगे, फ़लस्तीन के हवाले से भी पूछेंगे, उनसे और भी मुसलमान के इशूज़ के हवाले से पूछेंगे कि वो किस तरीके से वो डील करेंगे, और ये कैसे मुमकिन हुआ कि अचानक इतनी जल्दी लिबरल पार्टी जो पिछले 2.5 सालों से पोलिंग के अंदर पीछे जा रही थी, अचानक क्या ये ऐसा हो गया कि जनाब कि लिबरल पार्टी इस वक्त 4-5-6 वो पॉइंट्स के साथ लीड कर रही है पोल के अंदर। तो आइए हम जो है क्रिस्टीना डाक्सन साहिबा से बात करते हैं। सो एज आई मेंशन व्यूअर्स दैट वी हैव आवर गेस्ट Kristina Tesser Derksen. She is running the very important riding of the Milton, because recently Milton riding is actually divided into two, and now Milton North, Halton South riding, we call that riding, and a new riding. Nobody know the results because nobody ran before that elections. So is a very new riding. And Kristina, my first questions to you, because I know that I see you as a counselor. You came here in Toronto 360 TV as well when you are running the election of the counselor, and once again I want to thank you as well. So first tell me that why you decided, first you decided to run in the provincial election, right? And all of a sudden we heard that Kristina also want to run for the federal after the provincial. Very, very good. Actually, you ran a very good campaign during the provincial, because a very small time was given to you, but you ran a very excellent campaign as well. So why you decided that all of a sudden, now let's move on to the federal as well?
Well, thank you very much for having me on the show, and thank you for the question. It's very simple. I was asked to run, and I don't think has been an election this important in a very, very long time. So when you are asked to step up to represent your community and your country at a time of crisis, who can say no to that? Certainly not me. So when I was approached to run, and you're correct, I did run in the provincial election. I had about a 2-week break, and then all of a sudden I was asked to run federally. And the answer for me was an easy yes. You know, if the party felt that I was the right candidate to bring forward change and representation and advocacy for my community and for the Liberal Party in these very challenging times for our country, who am I to say no? I feel honored and humbled to have been given the opportunity, and I plan to make the most of it.
I think also there's a couple of reasons I feel that way, because Mark Carney come and he also get a very, very small time, right? Very little time to really organize everywhere to the party and find the candidates. So I think so he decided that whatever the valuable candidate are available in the community, let's bring her. Or I think so that's one of the reasons, because you fought a very good race during the last provincial election. I think a good choice. That from the new riding, and the new riding nobody know about that one. So my questions to you, Kristina, is that you are door knocking, you are doing everything in your constituency, right? So tell me that how's the campaign is going, number one, and the second is that what is the main concern that the people who are talking to you shows during the campaign?
Yes, we've been knocking lots of doors. I was out for 5 hours today in the snow. So we are getting some general themes from folks at the door. First of all, the campaign is going really well. There's a lot of positivity. There's a lot of people who are engaging with us at the doors, people who are asking questions, who are very interested in the resume and experience of our leader, Mark Carney, which is stellar. And we're getting interesting themes of people who typically would vote conservative, who are now talking about voting liberal, some of them for the first time in their lives, mostly influenced by the leadership, by Mark Carney. So it's very interesting to see that change. I would say the major issues at the doors are ones you could probably guess, right? Everyone is concerned about the economy. They're concerned about the threat from the United States, a nation who we thought were our friends and neighbors, who are now treating us as enemies, very unfortunately, and through no fault of our own. In talking to people about that, about the tariffs and the threat of economic crisis, my answer to them is our leader. Look at our leader, Mark Carney. He has so much real world experience navigating two countries through economic crises already. He is an esteemed economist. He has an excellent education and resume. And when you see him, he is a statesman. He is talking to us in a calm and rational manner. He's laying out rational and reasonable policies, and he's creating calm, and he's creating confidence among people. And I think that's really important in a leader. This is not a time where we need people to stir up divisive emotions with slogans. We need real experience, and we need to be able to have confidence in the people who are leading us through this very turbulent time. So at the doors, we're hearing about that, about the economic threats from the United States and the ability and capability of our leader to navigate us through that. We're also hearing about affordability. Of course, those are things that impact people's lives, the ability to buy groceries at a reasonable price, the ability to buy a home. And these are all policies that the Liberal Party has also rolled out. Now, we don't have the full platform yet, so we're expecting to get full platform very soon. But what we've gotten from the party and what we understand from our leader is that there are plans being put in place to address affordability. We're talking about a middle-class income tax cut, which would result in around $825 a year in people's pockets. We're talking about housing. Mark Carney has discussed kind of a very interesting model of building housing, getting the government back into the business of building housing, very similar to what we did after the Second World War, when we had all these, new families having children and creating new communities and neighborhoods and needing housing. So there's a great plan for building hundreds of thousands of homes across Canada. And once we have more home supply, we know the prices usually level out. It's supply and demand.
I think, yeah, you're absolutely right, because I think it's a very, very mature and where you rightly mentioned a statesman. He spoke like an statesman. I think after south of the border, which are our friends from a long time, and we have a lot of business together. We have a very good relationship, not only on the secret services level, on the defense level, every level, foreign level, every level. We have a very good relationship with the United States of America, and I think that after the Trump's come and his couple of statesmen, and especially the tariff and the 51 states, those are the two things that I think Canadian starts thinking differently, and all of a sudden the things going toward the conservative change toward the liberal ones. Mark Carney decided to become the leader of the Liberal Party. And I see that's why tide is turned from your liberal side, because from 2.5 years during the Trudeau era, we are watching continuously that the Liberal Party graph is going down and down, leadership graph is going down and down. And what magic he did, I don't know. You are rightly mentioned, is about the magic of what Trump put it in, or is a magic that Carney bringing it to the country. You tell me why Canadians so abruptly change their stance once they are supporting, I think, Liberal Conservative Party from 10 points in the poll. I saw that, and now is like 5 or 6 points. You guys are leading.
Well, I think it's because Canadians are smart and they're rational and reasonable, and they know when they have the right person in front of them to take them through the issues that matter, They're smart. They're going to elect that person. They're going to support that person. It's in their own best interest to do so. And I think you're right to mention what's happening in the United States as well. Of course, it's kind of created this perfect storm where we have these threats. We have a person in front of us who is a proven champion of economies who can take us through this. So, if you had two people sitting in front of you for a job interview and the major issue for the job was managing an economy in a time of economic crisis. I mean, look at the resumes of these two leaders. The choice is very clear. Who has the experience and the education to get this job done?
So one of the major, where you are running the race in Milton and Georgetown, Halton Hills, you can say that in that area, one of the major issue that's going to become a challenge, that the increase of the population, right? So the population is increased tremendously in that one, and this town was built as a rural area, right? It's become now become the suburb, and there are a lot of population increase. There are a lot of other facilities needed. So what are the something that is in your mind as a liberal leader, as an MP in the parliament? What one thing that you want to do for your riding?
Well, I'll tell you, when I was growing up in Milton, where I was born and raised, and I've lived here my whole life, when I was growing up here, the population was 33,000 people for decades. So it was in the early 2000s where we had a new supply of water and we were able to build and develop. And since then, the population has exploded to, approaching 135,000 people. And Georgetown is a little bit behind us in development, but they do have some development happening in the south end of their town. So I have seen the explosion in population. I have seen the changes in the town. Many of them are for the better. Some of them are some challenges, right? Like there's infrastructure, there's providing services for all these folks and making sure that there isn't traffic gridlock. So in my role as a municipal councillor for the past 2 terms in the town of Milton, these are issues we've had to deal with very frequently. It comes down to managing what the province mandates municipalities to do. Province says, here's the number of residential units you need to produce. Municipality, you figure out how you build them, whether it's going to be high density condominiums, single family dwellings. That's up to the municipality, but they need to be produced. And that's where the municipality has to decide how they're going to roll this out with their own planning staff and in consultation with the residents. So really, those questions are kind of closer to municipal and provincial policy. However, the federal government plays a role as well, because we are the ones at the federal level in charge of immigration, for example, right? And I will tell you, I was in Oakville this past Saturday, and Mark Carney was there making an announcement about apprenticeship funding for skilled trades, which is wonderful. And he takes questions from the media that are not vetted. Media asked the questions they want to ask, and one reporter asked about immigration and what he was planning to do. And he said, look, a lot of people came in really quickly, and we did not have the capacity to offer them the services and the housing that they needed. And that's going to have to be reviewed. And so I'm paraphrasing, but essentially what he said is that there was going to have to be a review and maybe a slowing down of immigration until we can figure out what we're doing in our own house, so we can make sure we have the infrastructure and housing and neighborhoods and communities ready for people who are coming as newcomers to Canada, and of course for Canadians that are already here. So at the federal level, I think that's where the policy impact is going to be as far as the changing development of these areas. Georgetown and Milton are right on the 401, very close to a major metropolis in Toronto. It is our destiny in some ways to continue to grow because we are so close to major cities, major highways, industry, and development. So, that's how it's going to roll out. Oftentimes, our mayor here in the town of Milton will say, "You ain't seen nothing yet." He knows that more is coming for us. How we manage that development and planning is in the hands of our councils and our planners and our governments. And we have to work with provincial and federal partners. The municipalities have to, and we have to make sure there's funding for all these things as well. So I hope that answers your question. Again, at the federal level, it's really more high level when we talk about people coming into Canada and growing neighborhoods and community building.
Yeah, because there's a high number of immigrants also settled down in your riding as well, right? So So one of the challenge I know that in especially the Muslim community and Pakistani community, they always ask about, because there is a issue of the visas, right? Of their parents, and the students, those who want to come from Pakistani community as well, right? From back home, they want to take the admission. There is always some sort of the hurdles they are facing, because there is no visa office in the Islamabad, especially in the Pakistan, where their paperwork can be done, right? So they are facing some challenges, and I think so they are complaining about this one from last couple of years, right? And I just, for your information, that you are just new, you don't know about that one, I know that, but this is one of the issue that our community really want to see something, especially the Pakistani community want to see something, that somebody can raise this issue and really open a visa office in the Islamabad, so the application process could be taken place in the capital, right? So
Yeah,
that's
thank you.
one
And
thing.
that's something I would like to learn more about. I have had a few people mention it at the doors. I think what you're talking about is a resource issue. And processing these documents, we know it can take a lot of time. They're complicated documents. It has to be done right. We have to make sure that the right people are coming here. The people who we think are coming here are actually the ones coming here. And then, I know COVID was 5 years ago at this point, but there were huge government backlogs in a lot of those bureaucracies trying to move those documents, not just in immigration, but in many tax, the CRA and all kinds of stuff. So I think there is still some residual backlog as well. This is just a suspicion of mine, which might be holding up some of those applications. So this might be something that I come to you later on and ask you to
No,
teach me a little bit
we will
about.
park this question. We will park this question. Once you win the MP election, we definitely come and ask you about these things. And definitely you
Perfect.
came to know. Yeah. So one of the foreign policy questions, I know that there are a lot of things, and that's really helped the Milton Liberal Party as well, because I know the Pierre Poilievre's stance on the Palestinian votes, Palestinian matter is very hard, and he don't want to really compromise. He just want to support openly. He don't want to support anything to the Palestinian issues, and he take a single sided, right? He take a very single side, and he have a very strong stance. I know that Liberal Party also supporting, and we all are need a very balanced foreign policy. And so what's your stance on that one? Because there's a strong you can say the campaign is going on from one of the organization is called Vote Act Palestine, right? And I see that Liberal Party gets the advantage of that one as well.
Yes, and this is an issue that has come up many times from local community groups. I have spent hours and hours over the past week meeting with local groups who are advocating for their families, their friends and neighbors, and everyone really in Palestine who are innocent bystanders in this quarrel between government and power players, right? What I have to say about that, and I'm certainly no expert, and I really don't have the expertise to comment on the political and conflict situation that's going on there. It's very complex, but I will say there's a humanitarian crisis very clearly, right? I mean, I have 4 children. I've said this before. I can't imagine putting my children to sleep at night wondering if we're going to wake up in the morning because there are bombs coming in or rockets. There's no reason why people should have to live that way. So I did sign the endorsement, the pledge of the group that you mentioned, and I have fully endorsed it. I have fully endorsed advocating for the innocent civilians who are caught in this mess in the Middle East. What Canada can do, I can't comment. I'm unelected, but what I can say is that from a personal perspective, it's a matter that I'm talking to constituents and residents about that obviously affects them very deeply. As a human being, I feel I have a moral imperative to stand up for anywhere in the world where innocent people are being, they're essentially what we call, collateral damage of these terrible conflicts. And there needs to be humanitarian aid allowed into Gaza. We need to establish, diplomatic ways to resolve this crisis. And how it eventually gets resolved, hard for me to say. I'm not an expert in, statecraft. But as Canadians, we're known throughout the world as peacekeepers and brokers of nation building and peacekeeping. And I think we have a role to play here, an important role to play. And this is a discussion that if I'm elected, I look forward to having with my colleagues and with the Prime Minister.
So one more thing, last question before we ended up this talks. I know that in the past, during the Trudeau era, there are two things happen, and one is the relationship between the China and Canada, and another relationship between the India and the Canada was getting little on the bad side, right? And there a lot of trades was closed, even on the foreign relationship between the India and the Canada getting very worse. What do you think that where Mark Carney heading? Because I saw that he is a very positive start with all those things that he said that we want to extend our businesses and because we have to find the new markets now to extend our. So are you seeing that with the relation between the China and Canada is getting better and India and Canada getting better in the future?
Hard to say. You know, I think as Canadians, what we want to do is make sure that we're more self-reliant on ourselves first. Mm-hmm. We want to break down interprovincial trade barriers. There's no reason why we cannot be our own best customers. We have a wealth of natural resources within this country. I was talking to a constituent of mine who's a chicken farmer, and he told me that it's easier for him to sell his chicken to the United States than it is to Manitoba, for example, because of all the red tape and the bureaucracy between the provinces. So this is something that Mark Carney says he wants to really, revamp and make sure that Canadians can sell to Canadians and buy from Canadians. Will we need to have external trading partners? Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons I think that you saw Mark Carney go to Europe shortly after becoming the Prime Minister, because we do have friends and allies in other countries that we can have open trade agreements with. In fact, we do have open trade agreements with, in which we can maximize a little bit better. As far as India and China, I'm not sure. I think we also want to keep in mind that we want to be dealing with nations as much as we can that have good, aligned values with ours. Human rights and workers' rights and those sort of things are very important in the Canadian philosophy. And I think we want to have partners who have similar philosophies and ethos as we do. So, I think that remains to be seen.
Well, thank you, Kristina. I think I know that you always speak from your heart, and thank you very much. And I always like your honest speech and honest things that you mentioned to us. And I really appreciate all your efforts. And I'm well wishing to you that you will your campaign will go further, and you will become the MP of our constituency in the Milton. And wishing you good luck.
Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. तो नाज़रीन ये थी क्रिस्टीना डर्कसन, जो कि एमपी का इलेक्शन लड़ रही हैं। हमारी एक न्यू कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी मिल्टन के अंदर फॉर्म हुई है, जिसका नाम है मिल्टन नॉर्थ हॉल्टन साउथ राइडिंग। और ये राइडिंग बड़ी न्यू राइडिंग है। इसके अंदर बहुत सारे जो है ना वो आबादी क्योंकि बढ़ गई है, तो 2 नई राइडिंग को कही है। दूसरी तरफ जो है वो मिल्टन नॉर्थ एंड बर्लिंगटन राइडिंग उसका नाम है, और वो वहाँ पर नदीम खटाना साहब जो है ना वो इलेक्शन लड़ रहे हैं। यहाँ पर जो है वो पैरम गिल साहब और कंजर्वेटिव पार्टी के पैरम गिल हैं, और लिबरल की तरफ से क्रिस्टीना डर्कसन है। और वहाँ पर जो दूसरी हमारी राइडिंग है मिल्टन बर्लिंगटन वाली राइडिंग, वहाँ पर नदीम खटाना साहब और एडम वैनकूवर्डन साहब जो है ना वो उनके दरमियान सख्त मुकाबला होने जा रहा है। और मैं देख रहा हूँ कि जैसे जैसे इलेक्शंस की करीब आते जाएंगे, हमें सही मानों के अंदर पता चलेगा कि कौन हेड कर रहा है, कहाँ ये जा रही है। लेकिन बहरहाल इस वक्त तक, आज की तारीख तक ऐसा लगता है कि मार्क कार्नी साहब जो है वो बहुत स्ट्रांगली जो है लोग उनके ऊपर पसंदीदा का इजहार कर रहे हैं। और उसकी बुनियादी वजह यह है कि लोग उनको एज ए स्टेटसमैन देखते हैं, उनको सेवियर देखते हैं इस इकोनॉमिकल क्राइसिस में, जो कि अमेरिका के टैरिफ्स की वजह से जो आ रहा है और एक इन्फ्लेशन की तरफ जो बढ़ रही है बात, तो लोग समझते हैं कि वो एक ऐसे सेवियर हैं कि जो शायद हमें आने वाले वक्तों में बचा लें। तो देखते हैं नाज़रीन, अभी तो थोड़ा वक्त बाकी है, चंद हफ्ते बाकी हैं। पोल्स क्या कहते हैं? आज का पोल्स कहता है कि 39% कंजर्वेटिव्स हैं और 44% के ऊपर जो है वो लिबरल पार्टी खड़ी हुई है। तो इंशाल्लाह अगर हम जो है फिर एक नए कैंडिडेट के साथ हम फिर आएंगे आपके पास, उनसे सवालात पूछेंगे, जो सवालात आप पूछना चाहते हैं हम उनसे पूछेंगे इंशाल्लाह। जब तक के लिए इजाज़त दीजिए। अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू।
राहत बेकर्स एंड स्वीट्स 60 साल से आपके हसीन लम्हों में शामिल, खुशियों से भरे मीठे जायके, नफासत और क्वालिटी में सबसे बेहतर, खालिस अज्जा से तैयार करदा मिठाई, केक्स, बिस्किट्स एंड स्नैक्स, वही ऑथेंटिक जायका और क्वालिटी। पाकिस्तान से अब आपके शहर मिसिसागा में, कुछ मीठा कुछ नमकीन। राहत बेकर्स, आज ही विजिट कीजिए 3920 Eglinton Avenue West, Unit 24, Mississauga. Call 905-820-1500 or visit rahatbakers.ca.
The law professionals at TM Law, providing professional services in the GTA in the areas of civil litigation, criminal defense, family matters, and real estate. Serving the community in English, Punjabi, Hindi, and Urdu. For more information, call Tahir Majid, barrister and solicitor, at 647-838-4773, or you can visit tahirlaw.ca.
हुआ पूरा मन का सपना, मेरा भी अब घर है अपना, घर आपको अच्छा घर चाहिए।
Then let Talha Bhatti serve you the best. 647-295-7861. Reconstruction projects, residential and commercial properties. Special packages for first-time home buyers. A member of dedicated real estate professional team. Talha Bhatti. 647-295-7861.
घर आपको अच्छा घर चाहिए।
Then let Talha Bhatti serve you the best.
At Alam Law Firm, we believe that the most important element of every file we work on is indeed the clients themselves,
which has resulted in a proven track record of success. Our battle-tested litigation lawyers stand tall in the face of adversity and challenging cases.
Our legal team comprises many legal professionals.
Every individual deserves dedicated legal representation.
For legal representation that will aggressively fight for your rights, contact Alam Law Firm today.
अगर आपको दुबई या मिडिल ईस्ट नुमा ज़ेवरात की तलाश है, तो आपको दूर जाने की बिल्कुल जरूरत नहीं। आज ही हमारे मिसिसागा रिजवे स्टोर तशरीफ लाइए। अल करम ज्वेलर्स। हमारे पास सोने के बेहतरीन कंगन, कड़े, झुमके, हार और सोने के सेट्स भी दस्तयाब हैं। शादी हो या मेहंदी या कोई भी फंक्शन, आपकी पसंद के तमाम ज़ेवरात आपको हमारे स्टोर में मौजूद मिलेंगे। आज ही हमारे स्टोर पर तशरीफ लाइए। अल करम ज्वेलर्स, 3465 प्लैटिनम ड्राइव, यूनिट 99, मिसिसागा, या फिर कॉल करें 905-828-0009। अल करम ज्वेलर्स, फरमाइश आपकी, गारंटी हमारी।
Attention business owners and corporate professionals. Tired of taxes chipping away at your company's profit? Take control of your financial future with our revolutionary corporate insurance strategy that works like tax-free saving account with no limits. Say goodbye to over 50% tax on passive income and a hefty 66.7% capital gain inclusion rates. Don't let the taxman hold you back. Unlock the full potential of your corporate investments with the full liquidity today. Hello, this is Zahid Sayyeda Farouj Financial Group. To learn more, call us at 905-624-0008.
जल्दी से हॉस्पिटल आ जाएं, साहब का एक्सीडेंट हो चुका है।
जान बचाने के लिए हमें एक टांग ज़ाया करनी पड़ रही है।
एक उम्मीद जो बढ़ाए पहला कदम।
उम्मीद है आप दें उससे जो दिया उसने।
अब घर चले?
चल। बने जरिया इंडस के जरिए
अपनी ज़कात और अतियात से लाखों मरीजों की खिदमत में हमारा साथ दीजिए, क्योंकि उम्मीद है आप।
रोशन मुस्तकबिल और अपनों का साथ जन्नत से कम नहीं। आप भी कनाडा को अपना घर बना सकते हैं और अपनों को पास बुला सकते हैं। एक्सपीरियंस्ड एंड रेगुलेटेड इमिग्रेशन कंसल्टेंट शहबाज अकबर के साथ मास्टर ऑफ बिजनेस क्लास इमिग्रेशन, एक्सप्रेस एंट्री, स्किल क्लास इमिग्रेशन, रेफ्यूजी क्लेम्स एंड फैमिली स्पॉन्सरशिप्स। कॉल नाउ एट 416-855-9464. Green Star Immigration Solutions Canada.
Managing your own business can be a lot of work. A professional accountant always makes a difference. It's imperative that your accountant keeps your finances simple, accurate, and confidential. Audited? Need help? That's why we chose Scans Accountants. They make you feel at ease knowing you and your business are in good hands. Scans Accountants, team of professionals.
If you are looking for a reliable, professional, and affordable travel agency in your town, then your search is over. Global Travel and Tours is your personal travel partner. Our dedicated staff always ready to make your trip hassle-free, memorable, and cost-effective. We will assist you with hotel reservations, the transportation, visa assistance, and travel insurance. Please give us a call right now at 1-877-275-3555.
Thinking of buying, selling, or investing in real estate, whether it be residential, commercial, or pre-construction, Arshad Bhatti and his team of professionals can help. We have guaranteed allocations in high-rise and low-rise pre-construction projects in and around the GTA. Call Arshad Bhatti at 416-300-5600. That's 416-300-5600 or register at arshadbhatti.com.
Did you know that staging your home can result in more than 7% return over the list price? Welcome to Sperona's Home Staging and Interior Design, where we transform your houses into dream homes. Our experts meticulously select each element to bring spaces to life, helping buyers envision their future and creating that emotional connection. We have our own transportation and logistical arrangements. No waiting on outside vendors. We ensure a quick turnaround to complete any project efficiently. Let us bring your space to life and help you achieve top dollars for your home, because it's not just about selling a property, it's about creating a future.
Are you planning on buying, selling, or investing in real estate and looking for a reliable real estate broker? Then look no further. Call Noma today. List your home and start packing. Honest, reliable, and a top negotiator. Give your attention to Noma. Over 10 years of Canadian real estate market experience. Invest in new construction projects with day one price. Call Noma Bobber today at 647-962-0007.
Team Farhan, Mortgage Solutions designed for you. 15-year experience of mortgage services. Customized mortgage solutions as per your need. Commercial, residential, construction and agricultural mortgage. Our lowest mortgage rate.
Team Farhan को एक दफा खिदमत का जरूर मौका दीजिएगा. And this is my personal promise to you, you will not be disappointed.
At
Team Farhan, we have a mortgage solution designed for you.
416-569-9294. TeamFarhan.com.
Dixie Electronics and Appliances is your #1 destination for electronics and appliances. Choose from TVs and home audio that will entertain your whole family, to home comfort essentials for your living space, and a wide selection of appliances to build your perfect kitchen. From selection to delivery, Dixie Electronics is everything you need. Price match guarantee and 0% financing available, all under one roof. Come today at 5120 Dixie Road, Mississauga, or visit the website at dixieelectronics.ca.
राहत बेकर्स एंड स्वीट्स 60 साल से आपके हसीन लम्हों में शामिल, खुशियों से भरे मीठे जायके, नफासत और क्वालिटी में सबसे बेहतर, खालिस अज्जा से तैयार करदा मिठाई, केक्स, बिस्किट्स एंड स्नैक्स, वही ऑथेंटिक जायका और क्वालिटी। पाकिस्तान से अब आपके शहर मिसिसागा में, कुछ मीठा कुछ नमकीन। राहत बेकर्स, आज ही विजिट कीजिए 3920 Eglinton Avenue West, Unit 24, Mississauga. Call 905-820-1500 or visit rahatbakers.ca.
We were always trying how to get a house. Remember the Royal Financial Group flyer you gave me for the mortgage?
Oh yes, Shiraz Hussain, who did our mortgage too.
Yes, I actually went to their office. The staff was so professional. They're expert in their services. And you know what Shiraz said?
We have more than 100 lenders to help you to find our right qualified lenders and program for your purchase, refinancing, any of your commercial needs. At the Royal Financial Group, we deliver what we promise.
Royal Financial Group. Never put a limit on your dreams.
A criminal charge can be an ugly and nasty surprise. Don't let bad decisions or unfortunate circumstances take control of your life. The criminal lawyers at Alam Law Chambers will listen to your story and develop the best defense for you. Nothing in life is more important than your freedom. Reliable and affordable. Alam Law.
If you are looking for an honest, dependable, and trustworthy auto repair facility, consider Z Auto Center for your foreign and domestic vehicles. Our certified technicians have years of experience, special packages for Uber, Lyft, taxi, and driving school car safety inspection, winter, summer, and all-season tire packages available. Best selection of used cars for sale. We are family-owned and operated business located at 3670 St. Clair Avenue East, just east of Midland Avenue in Scarborough. Call us today at 416-462-3050